Welcome back, guys, to your most beloved series, What If Ash Was Born in Sinnoh? This series has worked wonders for my channel, and I'm really excited to bring to you Chapter 3. Chapter three's name is When Reality Hits. Literally, when everyone saw Ash and Paul together, they expect to see some hardcore battles and some interesting moments all here and there around. But that's always not go- not going to happen always, because literally they're both starting off their journey. Both are noobs. No matter how mature Paul tries to become, he's also a noob starting out on a journey. So if some moments in the chapter offend you because you're a fan of those characters, I'm really really sorry. But you need to you need to understand as well that sometimes it's important for someone to fail in order to succeed later, and that's something you are going to notice heavily in this chapter, hence the name being When Reality Hits. Also, one more thing I have noticed and people might hate about me is that few people think that I pick topics which are really famous or which might become famous. But really, guys, why would I dig fame if I wanted if I wanted to just do what ifs because of views and all, then I would have picked so many topics similar to ones already done. I'm just here to tell my stories to you all, and that's what important at the end of the day. So please focus on the stories. Do not, please do not show some hate towards the stories or the characters or the arcs coming up. And I really appreciate your support for all of the things till now. So officially, let's begin. Ash and Paul traveled from Jubilee Life City to Orberg City in the meantime of grinding for their first gym battle. They had already registered for the league back at the Jubilee Life City's Pokemon Center and decided to take on Orberg City gym leader Rock first. It was Paul's plan actually, since Rock was a new gym leader comparatively, and they thought he would be an easy ride. Paul already had Turtwig as a type advantage, whereas he also helped Ash to teach Chimchar Dig to give him some advantage as well. After healing up their mons at the Pokemon Center, after a quick but tough training session, both of them were pretty confident. As they entered the gym, they saw an ongoing battle between two individuals. One was the Orberg City gym leader, Roth, and the other being Barry. Barry was the son of Palmer, the head of Sinnoh of Battle Frontier, and the brother of current Sinnoh champion, Cynthia. Rourke was using his Rampardos, which is his ace, whereas Barry had his reliable Rose Red on. Although one would think that Rose Red will sweep Rampardos, but Rampardos' fire flamethrower and hard hitting moves such as head smash made it very difficult for Barry to sweep him. But Barry finally opted to hit the healing strategies that usually grass Pokemon use and won the battle after quite some time. After the battle, the duo approached them and talked about the gym battles to the competitors and had some intros driving in. Soon Rourke announced that for the day he would only accept one more match since his ace was already a bit tired after loss. So Ash and Paul would agree to have one-on-one match to determine today's challenger for Rourke. The duo gladly agreed, but Barry was not happy with the decision. People, because people always tend to believe that Rourke was a newbie since he was a new gym leader, but he was only new as a gym leader, not as a Pokemon trainer. Barry and Rourke have been longtime friends since they were back in the since they were as children back students back in the school and studied through the same Pokemon Academy. Barry believed that Rourke should sweep these kids, but Rourke was serious about the responsibility handed to him as a gym leader and wanted to be fair, providing handicap to new trainers. Paul and Ash didn't like Barry's attitude at all, but Ash was more furious at him. So both of them had a conversation, and Ash challenged Barry to a battle, whereas Paul decided to challenge Rourke for today's gym challenge. After a little bit of discussion between both Rourke and Barry, they too agreed, and Barry clearly announced that he would teach these kids a proper lesson to learn. The battle between Ash and Barry began. Barry got his Staraptor in, realizing how tough the Staraptor looked. Ash chose his Chimchar. Throughout the battle, Staraptor took to the sky, whereas Chimchar ducked to the ground in order to dodge all the aerial attacks. But finally, after two flamethrowers connected, Ash got confident. But Staraptor, but Staraptor followed its trainer's orders and took those flamethrowers constantly. This made Ash so much confident that Ash brought Chimchar out of the hole in order to confront Staraptor openly because Staraptor looked considerably weak. Even Staraptor had a burn on its left wing. But all Staraptor needed to win the match was one aerial ace, and as soon as the aerial is connected, Chimchar was knocked badly down to the ground. Ash was in utter shock that how could he lose the match so easily. He knew that Staraptor was strong and Barry was a great trainer as well, but he couldn't believe that he and Chimchar got got to the ground just after one single aerial ace. Paul was very disappointed with Ash, but as soon as he realized what was happening, his gym battle was on. He was on the gym field against the Orberg City gym leader, and he wasn't ready to lose this match at any cost. It was an official 2-on-2 gym battle, whereas Rourke started off with his Cranidos, but Paul decided to bring his ace later in the battle and start off with his Elekid. He had already taught Elekid the brick break and a light screen, so he was pretty confident about the defense as well as counters to Rourke's Cranidos. But his dream shattered as Cranidos literally broke through all the defenses and even the got out of the brick breaks damage and continuously gave head smashes to officially end Eliket's turn in this battle. Paul was also damn shocked at how much powerful Cranidos was. Was it because of its trainer's training, or was the Pokemon in general such a strong one? Was his mistake to bring Elekid in the battle, or really he was a bad trainer? But he couldn't wait for all those thoughts. Soon he realized that it was time to finally bring out his ace and show them what he really got. As soon as Turtwig was in, Paul's confidence rose to another level. Soon Turtwig dodged a few head smashes by using the spin dodge technique, and it's really nothing new. Paul is such a great trainer. He obviously could do such a spin dodge technique. I didn't think it was anything brilliant in such a sense. Spin so with some spin dodges, Paul nicely dodged Grandidos's few head smashes, and Paul connected a few razor leaves and went ahead for seed bomb. After seed bomb landed, Cranidos struggled to get up, and Paul was damn confident that he is going ahead and going to face Rampardos. But as soon as he saw ahead at Rock's face. Rock was smirking. Soon he announced flamethrower, and Kranos released a burst of fire from his mouth, and one flamethrower connected. Turtwig was out. It was all around Rock's strategy to not only drain Kranidos' energy but also drain Turtwig's energy by making it counter all of the moves that Kranidos had in store, which it was he had trained Kranidos to be fluent at its signature moves such as head smash. So when it was continuously using head smashes instead of getting weak, it was instead getting more and more confident and fluent. And so when time came to bring in a flamethrower, he was charged up, and the flamethrower was such a destructive one that it took off Turtwig. Paul was in complete disbelief that how could it ever happen. His study, his everything that he learned before starting off of his journey supported his theory that he would easily sweep through the first gym. But now realizing that his plan had completely destroyed his dream of winning the first gym battle, he and Ash he and Ash were in complete shock. And soon after the battle, Rourke congratulated the two new young trainers about their victory. But Ash and Paul were again shocked at how could he say that it was a victory for them. Rourke said that he saw in their eyes that they were damn confident that they would defeat him and win the match. But when reality hits you, you need to realize what real life means. And just like life moves on, you need to move on too. He told them that they need to train hard and become capable of defeating the gym leaders. The gym leaders are no jokes for young trainers. Hence, so many aspiring trainers realize how hard their dream is only when they face gym leaders. And the gym system's main purpose was to give a realization to trainers that there are better things in the world to do and better people to learn from. Gym leaders aren't just people you need to sweep, but also the gym leaders are the people who teach you how to become better than you are. Ash and Paul heavily agreed on what Rourke said. They were damn confident that they would sweep through the gym. And when asked to Ash that would he be challenging the gym, both Paul and Ash, after a little bit of conversation, decided that they would move ahead on their journey and return back with a little bit of training later on. Rourke was damn happy that these two kids were heavily mature and realized what his words really meant. And soon they would be back, and back a lot stronger than they are currently. And at that day, it would be a damn good thing for for Rock to have gym battle with such capable trainers. Ash and Paul stared each other with a unique smile and having confidence in each other that they would improve and be back here. Then Rock moved on to Barry to ask where he would be going on. Barry replied that he would be picking up his cycle and moving on to Eternal City because his sister is approaching Eternal City and has some things to discuss on. Paul and Ash overheard this conversation, and it would be nice for them to learn from the champion of him herself about Pokemon training and how they could perform better as Pokemon trainers. So they decided that they would also move on to Eternal City next. Rourke added a thing that his other friend Gardenia is the gym leader of the Eternal City, so they can also challenge her on the route to Eternal City. But as Ash and Paul moved on to ask Barry that Would he allow them to accompany him on the route to Eternal City? Barry question had a unique look on his face that he really didn't agree to what they had requested. He instead told them that I'm going through the direct route to the Eternal City, and it wouldn't be beneficial to young trainers like you. Instead, you two should go through the other route of Floroma Town and Eterna Forest. Going through such a large forest and getting into multiple types of Pokemon would be really beneficial to you, both of you, since you're simply starting off your journey right now. And going in, even though it's a long route to Eternal City, going through that route would give them a well-rounded team while they approach Eternal City. And also Eternal City gym leaders is no joke to compared to their current performance. They would have to train hard in order to face her or even stand in front of her, because she is also one of the guys who looks like a newbie but isn't actually. Paul and Ash heavily agreed this time. They shouldn't have judged Barry just by his looks or his attitude, but genuinely he is a really tough as well as a great trainer. So Ash and Barry decide to leave on for Eternal City next. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this story. And if you were complaining why they both didn't win the gym battle still after the watching the whole thing, then if you remember in the last video, I just told that they would be having their first gym battle. I never mentioned that they would be winning the gym batch, and I don't think that with the current experience they are even capable of winning their first batch from the Eternal City gym. So I really need to work on their character work on and on their training. Even though Paul is great handy in order to improve Ash's overall training experience, but really after the whole thing ends, it's still up to me in order to make them capable of winning the gym battles and make them capable of understanding the values of being a trainer as well as the value of their Pokemon, since we haven't seen much of the conversation between the trainers and their Pokemon in this chapter. In last chapter, we had heavily included Ash and Paul's conversation with the starters. From now on, they need to get into a lot of conversations with their Pokemon as well to understand their personality and understand what their needs are in order to improve further in the future. So that's it for today. See you next time in another story, and please review the story and give any rating out of 5 down in the comments. Also comment what you thought overall about the chapter.